If God exists, he isn't just butter and good luck. He's also the tick that killed my wonderful dog, Luke. Said the river, imagine everything you can imagine, then keep on going. Overall, the feeling is weird, and people ask, like, what does it feel like? I'm like, it just feels like I live in a different house. I'm like, someone just remodeled my house, and I'm trying to figure out like how the stove works and how the living room door shuts. It's like I've been dropped in foreign territory, and I don't really know how to live there. And so it's been a re-understanding of how it feels to be in this body. For multiple sclerosis, the symptoms vary. There's a huge array of possibility when it comes to how things show up for people. It's a degenerative brain neurological disease where your immune system is attacking your nervous system. I always had a strong feeling and a strong connection to the world, even as a kid. I was raised beautifully by two parents that were very aware of the world and taught me to pay attention. As a young child, it was so full of joy. I traveled a lot with my parents. My parents were both physicians, but my father was also a marine biologist, and he studied squid and octopus, and so he would go do research. My mom and I would go travel to all these Caribbean islands and go hang out on the beach, and all my friends were these little island kids, and it was just a beautiful childhood, beautiful childhood. We called ourselves the Three Musketeers. When I was first diagnosed, I felt like the world had fallen out from underneath my feet. And the feeling was very similar to the feeling I had after my father passed, because after my mom passed, my dad basically was brokenhearted and lived brokenhearted and really tried to pull through, but they were like this. The feeling of both of them together passing on was pretty much the same feeling as when I got the diagnosis. And so my main intention was to try and find some ground to stand on again. And that ground, of course, ended up being my practice and the support of the community around me. So first feeling wasn't despair, but fear. Yeah, fear of unknown. And it's what we're all living with, but then sometimes we get it written out in pen rather than pencil. I'm dealing with a lot every day, and thankfully with practice I'm able to stay close to it and make it look somewhat easy, but it's not that easy. It's not. I'm not trying to fake anyone out at all. I'll full on let you know that it's difficult to be in this body and difficult to get used to it. If you drew a line down the middle of my body, the left side of my body feels radically different than my right side. For a lot of people, there's massive fatigue. I think I've heard it described as crushing fatigue. It takes someone with MS 5 times more energy just to do any task, like getting dressed for the day or going grocery shopping or practicing asana. Imagine you having to use 5 times more effort to just do everything throughout your day. You know how tired you would be at the end of the day. People lose the capacity to use some of their legs. A lot of people end up with canes or walkers or wheelchair. We can get so locked into fear of what's to come. Like, I'm like this now and I can stand on my hands and it's all fine and fun, but I don't know what it's going to look like 5 years from now. And so there's a sense of urgency that shows up with that. Like, oh, I better get to that thing. I better do that thing or accomplish that thing or fill in the blank before it all goes to shit. Because it could, or it could not. I can have a day where my body feels so terrible I can't teach class. All these things from an outside perspective can look like it's horribly wrong, but it's not necessarily a bad day for me. It just takes an adjustment and perspective. I just have to put on the other glasses. That's how practice has supported it so much. It's like forced retraining of your mind. Because if it went to all those places and I kept letting it go to all those places that it can go, I'd be a disaster. And how is that serving yoga? How is that serving these teachings at all? Practice also cultivates patience. Yeah, of course, if I could press a button and make all of this feel differently overnight, great, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And through practice, I'm able to be more of the observer of the experience rather than be so governed by what it feels like to be in this body. And in the mind that can totally run with it. Now, my mind can get on the internet and Google my diagnosis, and I can just like run to the hills with fear if I choose to do that. But practice is like, no, that's not really the way. So it just is the container for the experience and allows my mind and my body and my heart to stay in a more useful place than any of the places that it could possibly run to. So yeah, I'm kind of like trapped in awareness, which is awesome. But also, it's like I can't put my blinders on that much anymore. Every day is like its own lifetime. I don't look 10 years like, where do I want to be 10 years down the line? Like, where do I want to be right now? Like, if this is it, the rest of this year is all I have, feeling this good, like, what would I be doing? And so you're forced to look at things in a more present way, and something about that, of course, is really expansive. This relationship we have with our process of thought and our ability to use our mind to embrace and expand around situations like this is why we practice. As students of yoga and as human beings, we're meant to take everything that's been handed to us as an opportunity for our own evolution, whatever it looks like. And sometimes the things look really fun and awesome and great. 3 months in India, I'm sure you could do wonders with that. But my teacher says that right now this is my assignment and this is the course I'm taking. And so thankfully I've done some studying, but I still have a lot more to do. And it's cool. I know I got this. Got it.